on your face?
No, I'm excited. I mean, number one basketball fan, number one basketball correspondent. I could not be happier to finally be invited on a live stream after the Eastern Conference Finals Game 5.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, big Knicks guy. Big Knicks guy. When it's not my Grizzlies, I'm a big Knicks guy. Anybody but the Celtics, right?
ABC?
What's What's ABC? ABC.
Anybody but Celtics.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's simple as your ABCs.
Normally it's anybody but Carolina, but we'll make an adjustment.
Okay, I see. That makes sense too. Not with Jordan
No,
though.
of course not.
Our queen.
Our real estate queen.
Our queen.
Yeah, I'll root for North Carolina.
Thank you.
I don't.
We talked about this, Dylan.
Yeah, we definitely touched on this already. I'll be a Tar Heel.
I don't know about that. We got a long off season before you can fully commit to being a Jordan stan.
Yeah, have you guys seen the rumors that there's something in Bill's contract that he what is it? Something about him getting more money if he leaves.
He has
after
to marry a
June.
24-year-old.
Well,
He's just doing that on his own.
June 1st, the buyout goes down.
That's what it is. Yes, that's what it is. So, be very interesting weekend.
This is all a PR stunt to get his personality back in the limelight, back to NFL.
He has to.
Look,
he's
He's doing the wrong things then.
what's the word called when?
Direction.
Not a ransom. Gosh,
Let's move
dang it.
on.
Yeah,
let's start this thing.
go on.
All right, we're starting the podcast right here. If you're live in the chat, shout out everyone. Let's do this thing. All right, 3, 2, 1. We're live. We're live right now. Chase is here. Connor's here. NBA show. And Dylan is here. Dylan, welcome to the NBA show.
It's as the number one Karterkast NBA correspondent. It took what, halfway through the playoffs to finally get an invite to one of these live streams?
You didn't want to stay up late.
Based that off the parlay records?
It is late. I can't even. Why did we stop doing the parlays?
There's one big
Not
reason.
enough.
Couldn't hit one.
Well, we hit one. We
We ran out of money.
Responsible.
We hit one. I think stats department sent it back to me and it ended up at minus 12 units. So not great.
But over how long of a time, Carter? Minus 12 units over the course of 3 months. That's a win. Sometimes.
Of 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks.
I stand corrected.
1 place plus 800 parlay hit. But anyhow, Dylan's here, Chase is here, Connor's here. Knicks go up 2 or go. No, they didn't do that. It's late. I'm on East Coast time. This is miserable. Knicks win Game 5, force a Game 6. We have a series now, Connor.
We do, and I'm glad that this wasn't another closeout game where the losing team, the trailing team, rolled over like we saw in Minnesota OKC last night. I'm glad we had more basketball. I'm glad there's another game before the finals start in over a week. That was good to see. There's a lot of different directions we can go in this. My number one takeaway, the Knicks played defense tonight. It was suffocating, especially to start the game. The Pacers had 45 points through the whole first half. They had 43 in the first quarter of Game 4. So I thought that was the number one difference is the Knicks defense.
Yeah, I just think the Knicks came out with intensity tonight, and it felt like the Pacers came out with a little bit of we don't necessarily need this one, and the Knicks came out desperate. It's the classic must-win game. We didn't see that last night with the Timberwolves whatsoever. They couldn't wait to get to Cancun. It's like, yeah, you could have booked your tickets, but you could have done this back in the Lakers series, but whatever. Chase, initial thoughts, Knicks make this a series.
Yeah, you guys said it. Knicks come out desperate. Pacers didn't have the magic tonight. Some of those threes that they were hitting the first few games there, they just weren't. Nesmith was ice cold. Halliburton only ended up with I think 6, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously not his night after that incredible Game 4 performance. But it did kind of seem like the Pacers were content to kind of let this one slip. No, they're heading back to Indiana, and yeah, it's just the comeback. The down 20, all of a sudden it's like 12, and you start to think to yourself, do I lay some action on the Pacers? Is this where they come back? They just lacked the extra spark, the thing that ticked them over, which is hitting 3-pointers, going crazy on the boards, and then stopping on defense. It just didn't happen tonight. The Knicks looked like themselves. Pacers came back down to earth a little bit. So got a series, man.
I I don't want to turn into First Take and do this whole thing, but people were coordinating Tyrese Halliburton as the top 10 player immediately after the last game, which, valid. That was one of the best playoff performances I've ever seen. Non-factor in this game. This is a closeout game in the Garden. He's 1 for 5 after the third quarter, finished 2 for 7, 8 points, 6 assists. Invisible in this game. I think that's the reason why there's so much controversy over his standing and his tier in the league. And when you look at the top 10, 15, 20 players in the league, because he'll have an amazing game where he's like, wow, best point guard in the NBA. And then in a crucial closeout game, he's invisible. So I don't know where you want to go with this.
Well, I kind of want to go off that too and say this is why nobody actually believes the Pacers can win the finals. Is a night like tonight, because we know these Halliburton games are possible. And it also felt like when the Cinderella goes on an NCAA tournament run and they're hitting every single shot, you're like, can Loyola Chicago win the national title, or are they just going to get stomped in the Final Four? The Pacers' magic, I feel like, has to run out at some point. Yes, they play great team basketball. Yes, there's so many great things about them, and we've talked about that. But at the same time, they're hitting a lot of tough shots, and they're kind of doing it out of nowhere because they just have all this confidence in the world. I don't know if that's sustainable. They could probably get out of this series still. I think, to be honest, we talked about it last show. Who was I on with? Chase, I think. I think I said Knicks in 7 at this point.
You did, yeah. You were pretty high on the Knicks, and I zagged. But there's still 2 games to play. You're headed back to Indiana. This is obviously kind of for the series, this Game 6. Obviously, you don't feel great about the Pacers' chances if you go back to New York for a Game 7. I mean, that crowd was bumping, man. Every celebrity, Timmy was out there. He was giving high fives. He was getting intense. This is scary hours if you're the Pacers. I think you need to close out this Game 6. Otherwise, all of a sudden New York's favored to win the series, and you're looking at can the Knicks potentially beat the Oklahoma City Thunder? That's gonna be the narrative.
Yeah, 100%. And let's just get right to it. Who wins? Who wins this series, Connor?
I'm sticking with the Pacers in 6. I think there's going to be a lot of buzz around the Knicks coming back. Oh, Knicks in 7. Can they get it back to the Garden for a Game 7? I think the Pacers show up in Game 6. I think Halliburton bounces back and has a big game. I feel like the Pacers in this in a tight one in Indiana. The Knicks buzz is great, but I feel like the Game 1 choke is going to be the real thing we look back on and say that's where they lost the series. Genuinely.
Chase, who wins the series?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Pacers. I think they win Saturday. I think the biggest factor for me is I don't think New York can keep up this intensity that they brought tonight. And they can't play desperate every night. And with the rotation still figuring it out and still not being able to trust guys other than these 5, although they've been able to dig deeper into their bench. But to be fair, that's because they kind of, they're throwing in Landry Shamet in these moments that don't really matter anymore. And so you see, minutes being dispersed a little bit more this series. But at the end of the day, you can only trust 5, 6 guys if you're Tom Thibodeau. And I just think they run out of gas in Indiana. And when Indiana gets at their pace and they are up and down flying, it's impossible to keep up with them. And I think they do that there in their home stadium, and they close it out.
Dylan, who wins this series now? Pacers are up 3-2.
Well, I know that. I do know that the Pacers are up 3-2. I appreciate you asking me that question. When you've watched as much basketball at this high of a level as I have, you kind of get a feel for these things. And you realize the most important thing is who shows up for their team, right? The Knicks, Timothy Chalamet everywhere, Ben Stiller everywhere. Who's Chalamet dating? One of the Jenner girls?
Yep.
Right? It's one of the Jenners.
Kylie Jenner, yeah.
We would be having a different conversation if the Pacers could get people like Larry Bird.
Triple H was at the last game.
We get people like Jeff Gordon. I don't even know
if McAfee was there.
I don't even know if he's who?
McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
Who's that? If we get ladies, Jenna Fisher. Where's Jenna Fisher at the Pacers games? Right? Ann Baxter, Gene Stratton Porter, Scatman Crothers. I'm reading an AI overview. I Google search famous people from Indiana. The problem is the Pacers cannot get these people to show up to the games. I'm going Knicks. Knicks are winning.
Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 7. Yep. Love
Okay.
the Knicks. Let's get John Mellencamp to the games.
It's insane how fast the basketball talk is going to wrap up on this podcast.
Why?
I think we've got about 5 minutes left.
We got some good analysis.
Look,
Mike Pence?
I'm sticking with the Knicks. I think the Knicks still win this series. I think we see Knicks Thunder, and then I think we see a carbon copy of what we saw in the finals last year, except the Thunder are the Celtics in this scenario. The Knicks might steal one against OKC in the Garden, but the Jalen Brunson heliocentric offense, and they're just going to run out of gas against this OKC team.
We're talking about the finals, this hypothetical finals. Why do you think the Knicks win this, Karter?
Why do I think the Knicks win this series? Because what we watched tonight, I think they can bring that intensity, and I still think this Pacers run is a bit of a fluke. And I maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm the idiot in the room for this, but I feel like I watched this and we text about it, Chase. It's just the ball has a magnet in it somehow in these playoffs. Miles Turner has been hitting so many tough 3-point shots. I don't trust Miles Turner to keep doing that. Even at this point, even what we've seen so far in the playoffs. And I know it's one game, don't overreact, but I'm picking the Knicks.
One point that kind of backs that up is Aaron Nesmith, who's been not the Jalen Brunson stopper, but by far the best option guarding Jalen Brunson in this series. He only played 16 minutes tonight, and I think that's partially due to his injury and partially due to him, not being 100%. If he's truly not 100% healthy for this Game 6 on Saturday, that's a big deal. If he can't be out there for 30, 32 minutes, hustling his ass off, guarding Jalen Brunson, making his life hell, this Pacers team is completely different on the defensive end when you have to put Ben Shepherd or Benedict Mathurin on Jalen Brunson. That's a big difference. So if he can't go 32 minutes at full speed, that kind of backs up your point of the Knicks winning. I don't know. I'm still sticking with the Pacers here. I think they can pull it out on Saturday.
Our point.
But
y'all's point, yeah.
But real quick, for Chase and Connor, the Knicks can win Saturday.
They can.
Yeah, they can.
So now, let's say the Knicks win Saturday. How confident are you about the Knicks winning Game 7?
Can I be honest? If it goes 7, I'm still picking the Pacers.
I like it.
I really am. I feel like Knicks winning 3 in a row, I don't see it. I feel like these teams are too evenly matched for a team to pull off 3 in a row like that.
Chase?
I mean, look, I'd probably switch it up. I can be a paper bag in the wind. I'd probably be like, at that point, there's no shot that Indiana can go into New York. But I do see both your points. Because, to your point, Karter, Indiana, we said this before, it's felt like a March Madness team where you're like, young, plucky chemistry group. They hit all these threes. But they've done it in 7-game series, and they've done it almost 4 weeks in a row now, to the point where I do think that the chemistry, the depth is real. I think that the ball movement is real and fantastic every single time. And you had the worst Halliburton playoff game you could possibly imagine. And so I don't feel that worried about Indiana, even if they do go back to New York, because that's when your stars show up. And I got to say it, Halliburton shows up every single time for the biggest moments. Obviously tonight it was bad, but it wasn't a must-win for Indiana. And at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt them too much if they're able to get it done. So I think the Pacers have it, man.
Wouldn't it be a shame if that choke meme popped back up after a Game 7 of Tyrese Halliburton grabbing his neck? I mean, look, this kind of goes back to Carter's theory that you brought up on the last time I was on. Who's more nervous in a Game 7 in the Garden? Is it the Pacers or is it the Knicks with all that pressure on them of the Garden, of the fans going crazy, starving for a finals appearance? Who has more pressure on them at that point?
I think at that point it's still the Pacers because you've blown a 3-1 lead.
Valid.
Yeah. And
it's got to be.
We
them
talked
at that
about.
point.
We say this every series, but like this is like the biggest Knicks game ever, almost like in like 30 years. Game 7 would legitimately be the biggest Knicks game any of us have ever laid our eyes on, and the tickets would be through the roof, almost to the point where you're like, are you pricing out real fans? Too many Chalamets in the crowd. Although he gets up actually.
Last thing I have on this game, and then we can move on. We'll briefly talk about the OKC stuff. Towns was awesome tonight.
Yes. Did you hear Van Gundy ripping him, though?
Yes.
I think two things can be true. He was awesome. He knew the double was coming when he caught the ball. He was a lot better of attacking immediately off the dribble, getting to the rim, and I think driving with a purpose, seeking out the contact. But in perfect Karl Anthony Towns fashion, stupid-ass fouls still in big moments. With 6 minutes left in the third quarter, you get your 4th foul on a stupid-ass push, and Van Gundy ripped into him. And then he came back in with 1 second left in the third, and Van Gundy yelled, "Do not let him set a screen on this play because he'll get his 5th foul." I think Van Gundy, being honest, is hilarious. But yeah, Towns overall, great game. And it's really frustrating. if you're a Knicks fan, to see him play like that and then see him shit the bed more than once.
Dylan, thoughts on Cat as a whole?
Zesty, the king of zest. I mean, one of the most entertaining men that are left in the playoffs. I mean, all the passes you see, you hear him talking every time he goes up for a layup. That, as far as, number one basketball guy on the Karterkast, those are the things you look for in a star, right? You want a guy that's not you look for zestiness, not afraid to embrace his feminine side and show his true colors.
So, Dylan, while we talk about OKC, Minnesota, I want you to figure out your all sports zesty team.
Deal.
And then also turn down your headphones because I can hear myself through your headphones right now.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Wait, last thing.
Yeah.
This series in particular, guys, we always talk about how, you want your top 8 guys for a playoff rotation. Like, these playoff rotations always get condensed down, and really 8 guys usually play meaningful minutes. This series, there's been legitimately 11, 12 guys on each team that have played meaningful minutes in this series. And Pacers played 12 guys tonight. Tony Bradley barely saw the floor the first 2 rounds, barely saw the floor in the regular season. He's playing fourth quarter crunch time minutes. You see Precious Achiuwa being forced into crucial stretches in this game because Mitch Robinson can't hit a free throw. DeLon Wright, crucial stretches in this game. And you look at the other team waiting in the finals, it's the Thunder. They have more than enough guys they can trust in a rotation. They have 10, 11 guys you can trust in the playoff rotation. I think that's something we see moving forward as a big deal, where if you roll in the playoffs with 7, 8 guys, on paper it's great, but if one guy doesn't have it or there's a bad matchup, you're kind of screwed. So I really think these teams that are left all have 10, 11 guys they can trust, and I think that's what we'll see more of moving forward. Thought that was pretty interesting, especially in this series.
Kind of a good transition here. Do the Knicks or the Pacers have any shot against the Thunder?
No. The answer's no. And I'll stake my reputation on that. And it's not just because what we saw from OKC there in Game 5. And obviously, I would feel, it'd be easier to say this if they had handled Denver. But I think we can look back at that series and just add it to the completely full cabinet of accolades that Jokic has garnered in his career. But when you look at both of these teams, really, they play a lot like Minnesota, and they kind of match up similarly. I think if anyone had a better chance, it'd be New York. But it's the endurance. It's the fact that they've been playing every other night for as long as they can probably remember now. And these guys are getting run in the ground. And so if you're going to go play OKC, there's no Landry Shamet in that game. If you're playing Precious Achiuwa, it's against your will, and OKC's going to have every single dude to throw up against every single guy. Brunson will have never faced a defensive backcourt like that. And the same goes to Indiana. The only reason I think Indiana has a better chance than New York is because they just have that whatever magic. They could hit 33s in a game, and all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, they just stole game 1. What do we like? This could happen now. OKC's got to win 4 out of 6. Can they do it? Blah blah blah. But OKC is one of the best teams of this decade. It's crazy.
This is subject to change. I think either if the Pacers or the Knicks get in the finals, I think the Thunder win in 6. I don't think it goes past that. This is subject to change based on what we see over the next game or two in the Eastern Finals, but it's hard-pressed for me to see either one of these teams taking into 7 and maybe not even 6. I think this is the year of the Thunder. I think it's a coordination year, SGA MVP, crazy regular season record. They steamroll through the playoffs other than the Nuggets, and I think it's their year. I don't think either one of these teams, the Knicks or the Pacers, matches up well with that Thunder team. And I think, Chase, you hit on it. There's so many different lineup combinations and defensive backcourts and traps they can throw at you. You're going to be living in hell the whole time. And especially with the Knicks, there's just not that depth. And so I think either way, I'm rocking with the Thunder. I think there's a reason they're minus 600 to win the finals right now. And I don't see a reason for that to be wrong.
I think it's Thunder in 5 regardless. If we're being honest, I think it's Thunder in 5. I think you believe that too, Connor. Because the Thunder defense, for one, is just so swarming. And Chase, you mentioned this is unlike anything either one of these teams have seen in a 7-game playoff series. And then on top of that, the rest advantage the Thunder have. And not only that, the home court advantage the Oklahoma City Thunder have is a real thing. And I even talked about this in the Memphis series where I was like, kind of worried about OKC going on the road. Yeah, they struggled on the road a little bit against Jokic and whatnot. But guess what? They're not having to play Nikola Jokic in this series.
Yeah.
And also, you talk about the Pacers' magic and everything. The one thing is, for both of these teams, I feel like the Thunder can play at any pace too. I think that's an underrated thing about this team, where if it gets frenetic and frantic and chaotic, I think the Thunder are fine playing that fast-paced game too. And then they're also fine slowing it down and let SGA go to work. I feel like they can beat you in so many different ways. It's Thunder in 5. I don't think we overthink this one.
No, I'm with you. And you're not going to be able to get away with playing Cat at center a lot in a Thunder series. I just feel like the defensive presence just isn't there. And then if you're playing Mitch Robinson down there, that's just another guy they can bring out to let SGA cook in the mid-range. So it's almost like a lose-lose situation.
We'll preview the finals more and everything when we get the matchup set and everything. Let's talk about the losing team, Minnesota, in this one. Could you be more disappointed in Anthony Edwards in the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I don't think that's fair. I don't think disappointed is the right word to say
Really?
there. This is their second Western Conference Finals appearance in 2
Okay.
years, and I agree with what he said. He's 23. They're going to be back.
That's fine. What about Gobert?
Well, that's something you really have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you going to win with Rudy Gobert being, like we talked about, the second highest paid
not.
player on your team, being an offensive zero or even an offensive negative in 95, 96% of playoff games? He is a negative on offense. You can't play your second highest paid player. And if you lose a guy like Naz Reid or like Alexander Walker or like even Julius Randle to keep Gobert, I think that's the wrong move. So if you're serious about competing with Anthony Edwards as your best player, you have to make a decision there. And I think we all know what the decision is.
And he's not a huge positive on the defensive side in a 7-game playoff series either. He gets exposed in these series. And then Ant has no offensive help for his second highest paid player. I just don't think it's a winning formula having Rudy Gobert in the playoffs. Regular season, he's going to help you get to 50 wins. He's going to help you get to the playoffs. That's great and everything. But for how much he gets paid, I just think there's it puts such a ceiling on your team. And on top of that, too, I really feel like the only way the Timberwolves can actually make it to the finals and win the finals is if they get lucky and have a bunch of injury-ridden teams in a playoffs.
Yeah.
Think about it. This run was pretty easy for them too, to the Western Conference Finals.
That's what I'm saying.
In retrospect, and look, going twice in a row is awesome. I think it's a great for a city who hasn't had a lot of success in all their sports, to be completely honest, but especially with the Minnesota Timberwolves. But you have to have a level of frustration with the way that both of those series has gone. Obviously, Dallas, they had a little bit better chance. In retrospect, this OKC team was a complete juggernaut. But you have to be a little bit disappointed in the way that these guys showed up in the biggest games. And 3 out of 4 of these, it really looked like they completely rolled over and were just ready to lose. And like you said, pack up and head to Cancun, especially in this elimination game. Granted, you're standing in front of a freaking buzzsaw. But if you're Ant, and if you're Julius Randle, these guys who have been the guys that you are only going as far as they will take you, you got to step up. I mean, it's easy for us to say sitting here, in front of mics who have never played a lick of super, high level basketball, but you got to be better than that. You got to impact the game in other ways. If your shot isn't falling, you got to fight for your baskets, get to the line, do these things that is winning playoff basketball. And 2 seasons in a row now, we've seen Minnesota go to the Western Conference Finals after what we like to say, coronation, new face of the league, whatever it is. And then the second that they have greatness in front of them, a real accomplishment for theirs to grab, they don't show up. And Anthony Edwards being the number one culprit. Again, he's super young, so it's hard to lay criticism, but that's just what we've seen 2 years in a row now.
Outside of games 3 and 4, watching Anthony Edwards play, he just looked defeated. In games 1, 2, and 5, he just looked completely defeated on the court.
You know what they could do is trade for like a stretch 4 to help Gobert, like a Karl Anthony Towns.
The thing is, I don't even think if they had Towns on this roster, I still think we're talking about a 5 max 6 game series.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I cut you off though. You can keep going.
No, I was just gonna say, Ant has no. I feel like sneaky Ant doesn't have a lot of help, even though I like a lot of the pieces on the Timberwolves. But in the playoffs, I don't think that help is necessarily reliable.
You know what? I think the Gobert issue is definitely one that sticks out like a sore thumb, but I think maybe an even bigger issue is finding a lead guard to pair with Anthony Edwards, because we talked about it coming into the series. I was big on this. Mike Conley's great. He got drafted in 2007. He is in the twilight of his career. He can't play 35 minutes a night on 1 day rest in a grueling playoff series in the 3rd round. It's just not going to happen. He'll be fine off the bench next year. Anthony Edwards needs a lead guard to help him get into his spots, to help him bring the ball up the court, to take some of the playmaking pressure off of him. Because you saw Mike Conley in some of these games, it's like, oh, he was 1 for 6, 2 points, 3 assists, or he was 0 for 4 in 17 minutes. It's not going to cut it. Anthony Edwards has to have some form of ball handling, playmaking help in the backcourt, or this team's going nowhere with or without Gobert.
I 1000% agree. Chase, anything else on the Timberwolves before we get into Dylan's zesty sports team and whatever else gets brought up on this podcast?
Not much other than the
Uh-oh.
You're unplugged. You're unplugged.
Unplugged.
Chase, you're gonna have to leave and come back. Chase. Yeah. No,
Can we get the professional lip readers on this one?
No.
Yeah, he's gonna have to leave and come back.
I don't think you can with that mustache.
He's got to leave and come back. All right, well, we got some chats here. Don't worry.
Yeah, get the
First
chats.
off, I want to acknowledge Christian in the chat. Would have gone a full week with no hockey or basketball. Only thing to watch would have been Champions League and I guess baseball,
golf,
brutal stress, and the WNBA.
No Caitlin Clark. So
Clark's out. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Clark's. And then he said New York saved us. Yes, they did because now we have something to look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, at least there's a inkling of like, hey, maybe we might get a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals and not have to wait
be awesome.
8 days. I think it'd be awesome too. But yeah,
because
I'm glad
you
the
feel,
Pacers didn't smoke them tonight.
You feel like the finals might be a little rough. Shout out Jack in the chat. Dylan's back, and then Mike Conley ain't been the same since we knocked him out of the bubble. How about the Nuggets? Jack's trying to copy us where Connor and I always somehow bring in the Hornets into stuff. Now he's trying to filter in Nuggets propaganda. I think Dylan's going to start doing it for Ryan Day to get a lifetime extension somehow in the show.
We're already past it. We're past that.
Mike Conley in the bubble. He was 35 years old in the bubble, it feels like.
Are we just going to ignore the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies lost to the team that's in the finals and is probably going to be the favorite to win it all? I feel like we haven't discussed that.
Is that supposed to be an achievement?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to lose to somebody, you might as well lose to the favorites to be the champions.
Is there a single team in the Western Conference playoffs that Memphis would have beaten? Because I'm gonna say no.
Supersonics?
Lakers?
The
Junior's kind of nice.
Bobcats in the
Liberty
Western.
Stop that.
New York Liberty.
Stop. Charlotte Bobcats versus
Aces.
the New York Liberty. Who wins?
Charlotte Sting.
Okay. Let's Dylan, do you have your zesty team?
Yeah, I got my all zesty team. We have filled out quite a roster in what, 7 minutes, 8 minutes?
Okay, I'm ready for this.
So at center, I'm going to go Cat. We've already discussed that.
Team captain.
Power forward, I'm going LeBron. He's pretty zesty when it comes to flopping and trying to get those fouls called. I mean, you know, he's always looking like this. Like this. To me, that's pretty zesty. I'm going Mike Tyson at small forward. I'm going Jason Collins at shooting guard.
Oh, that's a layup. That's a softball.
And I'm going Libby Dunn at point guard. Can I go females?
Of course, we don't
She's
discriminate
pretty
on this show.
zesty. She's pretty zesty.
That's exactly what I wanted.
I've got a couple bench players.
Please.
Some of these are deep cuts. Not everybody's going to get these. Coming off the bench, I'm going to go Bubba Watson, golfer. I'm going to go Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce, Caitlyn. Whoever Madonna played on A League of Their Own, she was pretty zesty. Zesty. Disco Kid from Punch Out on the Wii. Don Flamenco from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Rube Baker from Major League 2. Apollo Creed. And
Apollo Creed.
He's the one that did the little zesty dance at Rocky IV to James Brown. Was it Living in America? That's zesty.
Keep going.
And then I have two here, the Pink Yoshi and Petey Piranha from Super Mario Baseball.
That's
That's
great.
a good pick. Yeah.
Great way to end it.
That's a pretty good team. Pretty good all zest team. Oh! Carl Nassib.
Had to include
That's what I got.
the team captains, yeah.
Carl
Team
Ness.
captains, yeah. Hall of Famers.
Michael Sam got cut.
I have no clue who that is.
Oh,
You don't know who Michael Sam is?
Dylan.
Is he Zest?
He kissed his boyfriend at the draft and caused a big controversy. He was like one of the, I think he might have been like the first openly gay NFL player, and you know how NFL fans react to things that are different.
Anything.
They're usually not big fans of that. Yeah.
Not big fans of change. Progress.
I don't know where Chase is. Chase might be in
Progress.
Mars. I don't know where he is. There we go.
Right
He's
here,
back.
right here, right here.
Okay, we just had to make.
How did Jared McCain not make the team? That's
So
my question.
I did a Google search, right? And that name popped up a lot. LaMelo popped up too. I don't know who that is.
Jared McCain's a good ad. He's the one that does the TikTok dances with the painted fingernails. And on that topic, where's Caleb Williams?
Oh, Caleb Williams would have been good. I dropped
Yeah.
the ball on that one.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
tough.
work on it.
All
We didn't have a lot
Zesty
of
team
time.
snub. Make the graphic.
What record is the Zesty team like getting in an 82 game season?
So
Not
who are
bad
they
lineup,
playing
though.
against?
Well,
Washington Generals.
that's a great question. I don't know. And then you
Transylvania.
have to start asking,
Bishop Sycamore.
we could fill a baseball team. We could fill a baseball team, all Zest baseball team with this roster.
Raheem
Shout out
Sterling.
Raheem Sterling. Yeah, shout out Raheem Sterling. Soccer though.
Sterling. I definitely know who that is. I'm not even
Soccer.
joking.
Does soccer count though?
Well, I looked up some soccer players. My problem is I don't know them well enough. Like
Yeah,
I know Tony Cruz is a small man. I know De Bruyne a small man, but I don't know about the level of zest. They all flop for the most part. So
Yeah.
But then like you can't go Ibrahimovic as a zest, and you can't go like Gerard PK as a zest. So
Maybe PK.
PK is zest? That man's a tank.
Shout out Shakira.
Married to
I was
Shakira.
gonna say. Yeah.
All right. Let's just see where this goes. Dylan, the floor's yours with this podcast. Just take it wherever you need to.
Well, I have things I need to address with Chase. I actually have a lot of things I need to address with Chase.
Let's do it right now.
I think Connor, we touched base on this on the side too. The most preposterous top 5 movie list of all time. Chase? Do you want to go through that again for people that might not know?
I'd love to. I got nothing against it. Here's the thing with movies. I'll say this first.
Well, why would you have something against your own list?
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly my point. Apparently, y'all do. Didn't know
That's
Connor
true.
was
I
in
do.
on it.
Not necessarily.
No,
the
don't
list.
do it.
Just-
Don't reel it back
He's-
now. Don't act all big and bad in
What
the
is it?
text.
Let's hear
I'd
it.
love to hear these texts. Wait, I'd love to hear these texts real quick.
I had a problem with the list, sure, but the comments that were made by you two regarding movies in general and calling me out and basically naming me on the podcast.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Connor, you can't cry at a Marvel movie.
So here's the thing: it wasn't a cry.
No. There's not a here's the thing.
Crying is a strong word. Like you're thinking like bawling, whatever. I was like,
know.
this is
If there's a
15 years.
No. If there's a tear shed as an adult male watching a Marvel movie, that is a problem.
I was like 18, and to be fair, I stand by that. I stand by that. Here's
Don't
the thing.
back down.
I'm not backing down.
Don't do
that
it.
was 15 years of my life. I love Marvel. So be it. I was there with Alec. It's an emotional day. Last day of freshman year of college.
Mr. Stark. I
It's
don't
very
feel so
emotional.
good.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that.
Now, I'm not a Marvel guy. I like the Spider-Man movies. I'm a big Spider-Man guy. The last one where they all three came together was awesome. But I am a crier. I am a movie crier.
That's the bigger problem.
Yeah, and Chase, you asked about the text. It essentially went, Connor texted me and said, please tell me you're on my side for the movie crap on the cast. Quote, you should never cry over a movie, end quote, give me a break. And I called you guys heartless, soulless, and I said, I could imagine Karter sitting in the theater busting a gut watching Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're
That is
sitting
a-
there, you're just sitting
that's
there
a- no, you
laughing,
could-
dying, hysterical, laughing.
That's an awful accusation.
I didn't accuse you, I just said I can imagine it.
Did you cry during the Barbie movie, Dylan?
No, I did like the Barbie movie. I was a fan of the Barbie movie, but I
Can I tell
did
you
not
what
cry.
Can I tell you my experience with the Barbie movie?
Yes.
So I was watching. First off, wasn't supposed to go to the Barbie movie. I was
Okay.
supposed to go to had tickets to a soccer game. Rained out. Movie
Kinda
theater
same
across
thing.
the street from the stadium. We go, well, let's go see what they got. She wanted to go see the Barbie movie. We went to the Barbie movie. Anyhow, you know in the scene when the mom is like, women are the best and everything, and we can be so strong at kind of near the end of the movie or whatever. And she's in, like, 10 minutes
Which scene was that?
Careful.
It's hard to differentiate.
at the very
Careful, Carter. We're live.
halfway through that speech.
Mm-hmm.
Some TikTok kid in the crowd ripped the loudest fart I've ever heard in my life.
For a
And
TikTok?
And no, he just looked like a TikTok kid. And the theater erupted. One of the funniest moments of my life.
That's pretty good.
Was it
Yeah,
enough
that's
to
more
make you
depressing
cry?
mission.
That fart almost made me cry laughing. So yeah.
No, let's Dylan, please tell me it's okay to cry during sad movies, right?
Yeah, end of Toy Story 3. You're telling me you didn't cry at the end of Toy Story 3 when they're driving away with
movie?
What are you talking about? Just because the people aren't real doesn't mean the feelings aren't.
Yeah, God forbid a man be emotional. I didn't know this was a safe space. Yeah.
I just want to say, Connor and Dylan, I said it was okay to be emotional in movies. I thought like actually shedding tears might have been a little bit of a push, but like getting teary-eyed and getting emotional, I think is totally okay.
Dylan, how many times have you legitimately shed a tear during or after a movie? In your life, if you had to put a number on it.
Toy Story 3, Fault in Our Stars. I don't know. I'm not a big movie guy. I'll be honest. I'll say it right now. Not a huge movie guy, but I have cried at movies. I cry at music.
Marley and Me.
I watched Marley and Me when I was young.
Connor be like, yeah, I cried during Captain Marvel. I'm 6'5", by the way. Exactly. Yeah. Anybody has a problem with me? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know if I actively go out and seek like tear jerker movies, but Toy Story 3 is the example I keep giving. Yeah.
Anybody ever seen Wild Robot, the new animated movie?
I did not.
That's a sad one. I didn't cry. Alexis was balling.
So, what are we talking about crying?
Like just shedding a tear. Like I've never full on like bawled at a movie before, but one that makes you sad and maybe your eyes get red and you start to a little bit.
Shedding a tear.
Any tear. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody be careful. It's not a safe space. Carter and Chase might start ripping into you if you admit it.
I would have to go research the crying movie list. I think there's one more I have, but I can't remember.
Growing up with only older brothers probably is the reason why.
That's true.
But also, I feel like if I'm in my mid-20s watching Toy Story 3 and going, what do you...
Yeah, like you... Okay.
What?
You've never grown up, have you? Never grown up and had to give away toys, huh?
I mean,
maybe it was a
breed.
I never had.
He doesn't
toys,
show
let's be
any
honest.
emotion. Let's be honest. It's also tricky because you don't want to seek out movies that are inherently just very sad about sad things and sad stories, especially these like real life, like the biopics and things like that, where you're just like, I know this ends awfully. I don't want to watch a movie like that. Toy Story 3 is not that. It's not like an inherently sad movie. It has a sad ending. Yeah, it's enough to. It tugs at the heartstrings.
I think we've addressed the crying stuff. Now let's move on to the top 5 stuff.
Yeah, Chase, you gotta go.
Yeah, what's your problem with it? It's a great list of movies. They're all 5 out of 5s in my book. It's also super diverse. I got a little bit music, action. I got comedy in there. I mean, it was. I think it was a well-rounded top 5.
You're using
Check that on here. The 2 movies I've cried at: LeBron Space Jam and
the Amy Schumer movie.
No, crying laughing. Am I right, buddy?
Nice one.
Knee slapper, yeah. But what did you say, Chase?
I just made a lot of really good points. I can make them all again if you really want.
Your point for validating your list was that they were all 5 out of 5s in your eyes. Well, of course they are. They're in your list.
But also, you can't rate a movie 5 out of 5. It's got to be 10 out of 10, and it's got to be on a decimal scale.
Are we going tenths, hundredths, thousandths?
I mean, every movie rating's out of 5, but I can.
We can't go. We can't be going 5 out of 5.
Every movie rating's out of 5.
Chase for the people. Let's hear that top 5 again.
Actually, no.
Yeah,
IMDb's not.
I'll give you them in no particular order. We got the Batman, Inception, La La Land, Pride and Prejudice 2008, and Fantastic Mr. Fox.
What's Fantastic Mr. Fox?
So you haven't even seen him,
right?
Animated, Wes
animated?
Anderson. Yeah, it's stop motion.
Oh, Wes
You haven't even
Anderson.
seen it, Dylan.
The
you were in
Pop-Tart
for
movie.
You're in for a treat. I'm jealous. I'm jealous you haven't seen it yet because I'd love to watch it again for the first time. It's incredible.
So no real.
Here, let me start.
No,
Inception,
okay.
Chase. I feel like Inception tries too hard to be like, oh, like expand your mind and think like this. Like I'm all for a good movie that makes you think. Like I would love a serious movie that makes you question a lot of things. I feel like
Sixth
Inception
Sense.
tries too hard. Like I'm that type of person, and I was still confused on Inception.
I disagree because I don't think they're trying to talk about real life. Like it's a completely, fantasy concept in a real life scenario, but they're not trying to like make ties like you should think this way.
But if I'm a big movie buff and I'm having trouble following the plot and understanding what's going on, and I'm really trying, then I feel like it's a little much.
Some of us have trouble following it. Some
Oh yeah,
You put that one on a tee for him. I'll say
I
that.
did.
Someone's going after the UNC Chapel Hill degree.
That's tough. That's tough.
Jordan.
Jack says chases a
Shout out,
culture
Jack.
Jack. Three out of
Following
5 of
my
those
back.
are solid. Dylan,
Yeah.
I need your top 5 then.
Top 5. I will give a particular order. I do have a particular order. Number 5, Saw. Number 4, The Fault in Our Stars. Number 3, Saw 3. Number 2,
Please
Passion
have Saw
of-
2.
huh?
Please have Saw 2 at 1.
No, Saw 2. There are a lot of good Saw movies. Number 3, Saw 3. Number 2, Passion of the Christ. Number 1, Moneyball.
Wow, Moneyball number 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I no longer feel bad about any of the hate I've gotten.
I
online.
cried.
I feel completely vindicated.
I cried during
This is-
Moneyball.
Oh,
Right?
at what part?
The whole
When they-
movie.
when
Whenever
they
they start
traded-
using numbers. I
That's
cried
actually-
happy tears the whole movie of Moneyball. We're going to recreate him in the aggregate. That was the start of the waterworks.
Dylan's whole Twitter is based off Moneyball. And then that
My life is Moneyball. I live Moneyball.
Yeah, I mean, when they put Hattie on first, how do you not? Shed at least 1 or 2 tears.
That's what I'm saying. Whenever they make the pops
He can't
free
throw
in the,
anymore.
in the
Hattie on
vending machine,
first, Buzz and Woody splitting up. I mean,
that's a good one too. That's a good one. Lots of good movies out there, but I would not say Moneyball's fire. Thank you, Andrew. See, I'm vindicated. That's my list.
Moneyball is fire.
Very
I
interesting.
No
that
love
no
for
longer
Uncle-
feel bad.
No
No love
Christian
for Uncle
movies on your
Drew?
list? No movies about the faith?
No, I haven't seen one that I deemed top 5, but I am a very religious person. So
All right. Yeah, me too. Okay. It's interesting.
Connor, what's your top 5 to combat this?
Andrew said was getting ready to roast his list till I heard Moneyball. Okay, Moneyball the savior.
Do we know Andrews? Is he one of the church ball guys?
Not a church, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Ish.
All right.
My list, top 5. I had a list. We got some honorable mentions we can go through. Miracle is 10 times better than Moneyball.
What's
Miracle's
Miracle?
That's the Clemson one, right? Or no?
What? No.
are
no,
you
no,
dead
no.
serious?
Which
Wait,
one's
what are you
Miracle?
talking about?
Did you just call yourself a movie buff 5 minutes ago and you don't know what Miracle is? You thought it was
Which
about
one is
the
that?
Clemson, like the safety?
Safety, that's what it is. Miracle's the
Oh, I got a movie to add.
Hockey movie.
Is that the Netflix show All American with those beautiful
Oh,
men?
please. All these movies have one word names. Give me a break. What, Dylan?
Bro has Passion of the Christ and Saw 3 on the same list. That's why I was crying. I was hoping you would just go Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, Jaws.
I was hoping the fact that Passion of Christ wasn't one would give a couple laughs. That Moneyball was over Passion of Christ, but that didn't pan out. A movie I absolutely love that I just thought of, My Cousin Vinny. That's on my top 5 list. I don't know where it's getting slotted, but
I'm not a movie buff in the slightest, and I need to see that. That's on the list.
I asked Karter on the pod. I mean, you guys listened, and he just looked up like top 10 movies all time and just started reading off the list.
I will say, Chase, great reference on the LeBron National Tight End Day. That was hilarious.
Well, time out.
That's exactly what he did,
I had to check the ones I've watched.
which is like 0. I mean, you saw.
That's
like
what
2
I'm
of them.
saying. I'm not a movie guy.
You ask him to list off the top 10 Bill Simmons, Ryan Russillo podcast. We could do that in a heartbeat.
I could probably do Bobcats.
The one with Jackie McMullen where she does an impression of Joel Embiid. Number 1.
Byron Mullins, Josh McRoberts, Connor Sparrow. Let's go.
There was some tough ones that I left off this. The Dark Knight, great movie, didn't make the top 5. Good Will Hunting, another great movie, didn't make my top 5. Green Mile, that's probably the last movie I actually like teared up at. Is Green
That's
Mile.
a good one. That's a real good one.
Green Mile is a great movie. Top 5 though, no particular order. Shawshank Redemption, classic. It's basic. It's in everyone's top 5. It's a great movie. Shutter Island. A lot of people say this is overrated. I personally loved Shutter Island. Thought DiCaprio was great in that.
Another great
Ruffalo
movie.
as well. This is the one I'm going to get some pushback on. Avengers: Infinity War is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And you guys can
And you
roast
cried
me, you
during
can laugh.
it, right?
No, not that one. No, Endgame.
That was
But
Endgame.
Avengers:
I thought,
Infinity
I thought
War.
you cried when Spider-Man was fading away into dust.
No. It was Endgame when it was all over.
Oh, I see.
No. Infinity War. Drop top 5 so I can make fun of it. Yeah. Infinity War, for anybody that's a superhero, Marvel fans, whatever the hell. Great movie. So those 3, Truman Show is in my top 5.
I
Truman
want to
Show's a
watch
great
that.
movie.
That would be a movie that I think will interest me greatly.
Truman Show is a great movie, and I didn't watch it until like a year, 2 years ago. I'd never watched it before that, and I thought it was great. And then I put Inglourious Bastards on here. And that's a little unpopular. I think it's a great movie. I watched it for a film class, funny enough, at UNC. That bar scene, I rewatched it last night just because I haven't seen it in a while. One of the best scenes that I've seen in a movie. So that's the top 5. There was some tough ones to leave off. La La Land was a great one, Chase. That was in my honorable mentions as well. Fight Club's a good one. Dead Poet Society is a good one. But yeah, that's the top 5.
What grade did you get in that film class?
Oh, A. Come on, Chase.
All right,
Film,
it's-
English 143 is a senior. Chase, we got an A in that class.
Chase. And it's a Carolina class.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was there a bunch of athletes in that class? And you're
Hey,
like,
Connor, what'd you get in African American studies?
Pass.
did you get history of hip hop?
I did take a history of country music class, if you want me to be honest.
Shout out Andrew. He said Truman Show is one I can watch every day.
Truman Show's a great movie.
Yeah, great
People
comfort
were telling me
movie.
about it, but I didn't watch it until a couple years ago.
Couple of movies I left off that I just thought about too. Knives Out, great movie. The Social Network, great movie. The ESPN 30 for 30 Terrific Lies about the Duke R-word scandal. One of the best.
I was at a pizza parlor last week, and that
Fantastic
was on the TV.
Lies.
Fantastic
Is what it's
Lies. Yes,
called.
thank you, True Movie Buff. Fantastic Lies. Great movie.
Do documentaries count?
I'm counting it.
Yeah, they're
Jack
Fiction's
Whip.
different.
Jack just said Connor recovered from that miracle comment. No one had Whiplash. Whiplash was also in my honorable mentions. I think Miles Teller's great in that movie. Obviously, J.K. Simmons, but that's a good one. Catch Me If You Can's another one. DiCaprio, Tom Hanks. That was in my top.
very good too.
Yeah.
What's the most recent movie that you'd even consider top
Dune
5?
2?
Like
Dune 2? Anyone?
that's a great one. Dune 2 is a 5 out of 5 in my book. That's a
Dune 2
very
is
good
good.
movie. Carter hasn't seen it.
Talking about Chalamet
Liverpool,
earlier.
Tottenham when Liverpool won the league.
I
I was close to crying that day.
What was the question?
1917?
The most recent,
1917, the war movie? It's a pretty good one.
the most recent movie you would cry to?
That you consider putting in your top 5 or top 10 or whatever.
Consider put. Oh man, I don't watch many movies. It's probably going to go without saying. A Complete Unknown.
Cooper.
That
Yeah.
high?
I don't couldn't remember the last movie I watched since that is the second Knives Out, Glass Onion.
I feel
Uncut
like
Gems.
I don't
Movies
watch a lot of movies.
Uncut Gems, anyone?
Kevin
Uncut
Garnett's
Gems
great in
is
it.
solid.
Shout out KG.
I want a 28-way parlay. Dylan, I
Yeah.
didn't think I thought a Complete Unknown or whatever. I thought it was meh. You know, like I'm glad I went to the theater and saw it. I don't think I'd ever turn it on again.
I watched
one
it
of
again when it was on Hulu. Now, I will say sentimental value. That's my namesake. I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. But I thought it was pretty good. I think, of course, I wasn't there. But, I mean, the fact that they almost crucified this guy because he played an electric guitar on stage seems a little overdrawn. But,
It's like
pretty good
Michigan
movie.
passing the ball.
huh? That's changing this year, buddy. We got Bryce Underwood shaking off DNs, Ohio State DNs,
Shaking
and
off
NCAA
LBs.
26 trailers.
He's shaking off LBs. Him and I are on a diet, dude.
I don't care how fat you are if you win us another back-to-back national championship.
I mean, honestly, the bigger you are, the bigger you are, there's a graph you need to make where like there's a peak of being extremely fat and winning a national championship. You could be the hero and icon of a university or a sports franchise. DJ Burns almost hit that point.
But we have to consider position at some point, right?
Yeah, because what's the last fat quarterback we've had?
Kentucky dude. What's his
Levis?
name? No.
No.
They called him the hefty lefty.
Vandegrift?
Hold on.
All right.
I'm going to be honest. I thought Dylan would have the Breakfast Club in his top 5.
I love the
Lorenzo?
Breakfast Club. I love the Breakfast Club. Second Spider-Verse, I consider.
Second
I
Spider-Verse
watched
is
that
good.
within the
Very
past
good.
2 years with Abby. Very good movie. That's a very good one.
I thought
I'm
you were
changing
gonna
my
have
list.
Marley and me.
I'm putting the town at number 1. It changed my NBA franchise forever. So
I think that's
Town.
fair.
it deserves love. It deserves a ton of love. So
If all of a sudden Charles Lee started watching Amy Schumer movies every single day, I'd become the biggest Amy Schumer fan in a minute if it meant we got a title. I mean, that would be my morning routine is watching an Amy Schumer movie when I wake up every single day. If it meant the Hornets got a title.
It's got to be another punishment this year for our college football bets.
Oh my gosh.
I have more questions for Chase.
Yep.
Do you drink pop?
It's the
I try not to. I'm an avid non-caffeine guy. Big no caffeine advocate. So that was
At all?
At all. I've actually never had a sip of it in my life. So
Of caffeine?
that's on the internet now. Yeah. Yeah.
What
Because
about
you made a Diet Coke comment that was kind of crazy. But when I found out that you haven't had Coke, it made a lot more sense.
I've never.
I
had
have
caffeine
had
either.
caffeine-free Diet Coke, and it's disgusting. It's awful.
Okay, well, that's a very different drink.
I mean, does caffeine make that big of a difference?
Yeah.
Does caffeine taste like anything?
The caffeine-free drinks are the worst thing on planet Earth.
what, like the Coke and the brown bottles they used to make, like the light brown?
Yes. It's
The light brown cans, the
that
tan
is-
cans.
that tastes like pocket change.
Talk about motor oil. That's the motor oil.
That's what I'm
literal
saying.
Motor oil.
Okay, but
You told me it's
Yeah.
that different?
It's that different.
it is that different.
It is that.
I mean,
different.
I
let
couldn't
it be
say,
known.
so I'll take y'all's words for it. But that was my only experience.
I hate Diet Coke, so I won't defend Diet Coke, but regular Coke, it is a million miles of difference
Yeah, regular Coke bangs.
every time, especially from a fountain.
I
Especially in
can't.
a souvenir cup. Glass Coke, great one.
I
Mexican Coke.
eat so many calories. I cannot imagine drinking my calories too.
Dylan.
I eat so many of them. I can't imagine drinking. I don't know.
Genuinely, how much better for you is Diet Coke than Coke? Like, I know people
It
say
depends.
it,
I
and
mean,
people tell that to
no
make themselves
calories.
feel better, but if you drink a Diet Coke, just drink a Coke. I don't think it makes that big of a difference.
It depends. I mean, you can drink. I think the difference is you can drink 4 zero sugar pops, and you drink 4 regular. You're at 800 calories.
Glucose
170
is
a pop.
spiking. Yeah,
Who
valid.
is- but 4 is a ton.
4 is a ton.
That's what I'm saying. That with the zero sugar, you can do that.
At that point,
I
I'm
don't know.
tired of it, though.
Yeah, or just drink 1 can.
You guys need to take a look at the Wilkerson fridge. I mean, it's not just Coke Zeros in that fridge. We have Dr. Pepper cream soda zero sugar.
Diet A&W root beer.
We have zero sugar mug root beer. We have zero sugar Barks
Starry?
root beer. We got
Zero
everything.
Sugar,
So
zero sugar Barks root beer sounds terrible.
Barks is better than mug.
Wrong.
Really?
Root beer's dis-
Really?
root beer's
You're a mug
disgusting
guy.
in general.
IBC 1.
Wow.
But that doesn't
I don't even
count.
know if we have IBC here.
That's not in the same ballpark though.
Now, Connor, this is a deep cut for you and I only. Root beer Sunset Slush. That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
No, it is
I
not.
love some Sunset Slush, but root beer, I hate to say it,
You
root beer is
get, you
disgusting.
get root beer, you get vanilla ice cream. All right, we're getting far off of this.
Blue
I-
raspberry. What are you doing?
Oh, you don't get fruity. No, you do not get. No.
Little zesty, little
Carter's
fruity?
made all zestine. Carter's
Yeah.
made all zestine with that comment.
Fine with me. What else you got, Dylan? What other questions?
What kind of music you listen to, Chase? Not 21 Pilots fan.
not a 21 Pilots fan. 'Cause,
Not
like,
not a big
2012
mental
is
health
over.
guy, it seems like, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I left middle school and kind of left them behind.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm not ashamed to say I kind of just do whatever's trending. So getting into Morgan Wallen right now. He got a big fat new album, so that's been fun to listen to. Kendrick guy.
Chase
Racist,
doesn't leave
okay.
some Broadway girls alone. Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't say I even listen to too much. Usually locked in on the podcast.
Lecrae?
Yeah, Andy Lecrae,
Don't even know
Tripoli,
what that is.
Andy Mineo,
No, not.
Brandon Heath, Chris
Are
Tomlin.
you naming? Are these baseball players or is this musicians?
I've been doing this for like 2-3 years. What now with Dylan? I have no idea who any of those people are. And
Shut up. Yes, you do. You know who
named
Lecrae. Toby Mac. You listening to Toby Mac?
I've heard of Toby Mac.
I
Have you really not heard of Lecrae? You've been playing me all these years.
Who Lecrae is.
I know who Lecrae is. I know
You know
who
who
Lecrae is.
Lecrae is. You're being.
I don't know who Lecrae is. Is it Christian Rock?
You want to do other sports? I got other sports stuff.
Yes.
You want to do other sports?
Yeah. let's
Can I
go
share
for
my
it.
screen?
Yeah.
There's no
let's-
rules. This is cast after dark. There's no rules.
Some rules. We're
Yeah,
live.
you guys won't care about golf though.
Chase
I love
might.
to talk golf, Dylan. Dylan, you're the whole anti-Rory McIlroy thing is honestly pretty messed up.
Why?
Dude saved the game, saved the tour, and
Oh yeah,
him getting
Rory's
the
doing a
Grand
lot for
Slam
the
is
game
one of the
right
greatest
now.
things to happen in sports. It's gonna be the most memorable sports moment of the decade.
What?
Easy.
The
His Grand
Grand
Slam,
Slam?
the Masters win. Yeah.
how's his first round today at Jack's place?
I wasn't paying attention.
He's not playing. He's not playing in a signature event.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And he also won't talk to the media after a major championship because he shoots over par. That's what I don't like. Here's what I'll tell you about this whole situation. Here's what I'll say about the whole situation. If I'm Rory McIlroy and I feel slighted because I stood up for the PGA Tour against Liv for the better part of 3 years, and then all of a sudden Tiger Woods and Trump and everybody's meeting with Monahan and trying to get the tours back together behind my back, that's frustrating. If you don't want to talk to media or you feel that you don't have an obligation to speak to the PGA Tour anymore because of that, I give a little bit of credit to that. But you can't act like you're the face of the tour and not talk to the media. And here, it's not just I'll give Colin Moore, Kyle, all the crap too, right? Non-golfers, can you help me out here?
I didn't see the more crap on my timeline.
He doesn't talk to the media either. I'll give him crap. I'll give
I'll be
him.
honest.
It was 1
In a-
week.
In a league like the NBA,
Oh,
NFL,
my-
something
but
like that, if you're the face of the league like that, you're expected to show face and make public appearances. You skip the podium 1 or 2 games, fine, but
That's
it can't
Ant.
be a thing. Yeah, but he did it in his
And
locker.
skipping.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's making a protest. He's got fined $50K for one word.
And here's the thing: you want to take it an even step farther. NBA doesn't need grown. We don't need to be growing the NBA. We need to be growing golf. Some
the
kind
game.
of I don't know. We're getting a
don't
big
know.
countersurgent shrink motion coming from some of the golf heads with the big old hats with the big old block text. We're getting a lot of shrink instead of grow. But
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think golf wants to grow. I mean, I've been
They're clutching their pearls.
yeah, golf.
about to-
That's a big pearl clutching.
Dylan, have you
sport.
booked a tee time lately? I'm sitting here waiting 10 minutes just to tee off.
I've got one tomorrow, 7:50 a.m.
Whew.
Let me know how you do. Let me know how you do.
Of course I will. The Rory, why do you like Rory though, Chase? It's like he isn't really a likable guy. There is no he's good at golf. I'm not going to deny that. It's just kind of the same thing with Tiger, but he doesn't really want to be there. He doesn't want to sign for that's the biggest thing too. He doesn't sign for kids.
I mean, look, Rory's the one who got me into golf, so he's like childhood hero, and I'll love him forever for that. I don't care what he does with the media or the things that he does. I do know that he was the entire reason
Oh.
the PGA stayed afloat. I do know that he
That
did win the Grand Slam, and I do
Did
know
win.
that he is just a normal guy playing golf who's been in the spotlight since he was like 7 years old. So
Okay.
can we blame him for something?
So is LeBron.
Exactly.
Can I counterpoint?
yeah.
What if you grew up an O.J. Simpson fan?
Yeah,
You said
well, if
you
Rory
don't care what
McIlroy
he does
killed
off-
someone, I think I'd have a little bit of different feelings.
Allegedly.
O.J. Simpson has the greatest rushing season ever, and you're like, well, Rory McIlroy Grand Slam and all this stuff, and you're like, I don't care what he does off the course or off the field.
He could be at every Diddy party in the world. I don't care.
If O.J. Simpson came back, played for the Patriots, and carried them to a Super Bowl, I would be an O.J. Simpson fan. Winning cures everything. Ask every Tiger Woods fan on planet Earth right now, which is pretty much every golf fan, man.
Can't
That
say
dude cheated on his wife with like 24 chicks, and no one cares anymore.
Respect his privacy in his new relationship. Come on.
Yeah, seriously.
Well-
Walk me through the whole Rory inspired you to get into golf thing and not Tiger.
Well, so right when I was getting into golf, I remember like being on a course. I was doing like lessons, and so you're with a group, and the news broke that Tiger had done this to his wife, and so he kind of became the villain for me because it's like, ooh, bad guy off the course, and then he obviously kind of fell off after that golf-wise, and Rory was the guy to step up. He was the next face of golf. He was really young then, and he started winning majors, and I bought the video game he was on the cover of, and I mean, it was
that was a big
wraps
deal.
from there. He was the Nike guy.
Now,
He was the natural choice.
you're talking about Tiger's infidelity issues. What about Rory's alleged divorce because he was cheating on her with the CBS reporter Amanda?
That just interviewed him, right?
Yeah, and now she's calling him out for not doing media.
Yeah, so I mean, it'd
just
be
seems-
weird if they were actually having a relationship. Divorce never happened. Some
No.
tender moments after the Masters, although it admittedly was a little awkward. Clearly a rocky relationship. I'm not. Jokic can do what he wants. So I don't know, but I'm also a big fan of Poppy. I think she's a cute little kid, and happy for all their success.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we talk about
loser.
tearing up. Talk about tearing up. How did you feel after you saw him win the Masters, even with your feelings against him?
Don't care. That I was rooting for Justin Rose. I actually I have this thing. I don't like when non-Americans win golf tournaments. I don't know if that's
Justin
racist
Rose
or
isn't
not.
an American.
I understand
Racist?
that, but I was rooting for Rose over
That's nationalism.
McIlroy. I was actually rooting for DeChambeau at the beginning of the day, and then he was falling off, and I was like, oh, Aubert's going to make a run at this thing. And then it was Justin Rose. I would have rather seen Spieth win the PGA.
Then Rory get the Grand Slam. You want
Yeah.
Spieth? You wanted Spieth to get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to each
And the
their
whole
own.
the whole
I mean, you can't
Rory
convince
holding the tour
everyone.
together. If it wasn't him, it just would have been someone else.
Who?
Ludwig.
Scheffler, Thomas,
Xander
Jim
Schauffele's gonna
Furyk.
step up.
Schauffele's
Schauffele
not, no.
barely won anything at that point.
Zalatoris.
Schauffele,
Rory Sabatini.
Rory Sabatini. What a poll! Connor.
I got
That's
deep
actually
cuts.
impressive.
Don't worry. I grew up
Impressive.
watching golf.
BJ Singh.
Vijay Singh. I
Vijay
grew
Singh.
up watching golf. Which one of them put the Tiger thing on their driver when they were playing against him? One of them did it.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was Rory Sabatini. That's how I know him.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise
Connor
me.
might know more golf than you, Dylan.
I grew up
Ricky
watching
Fowler,
golf.
the Rory Sabatini poll is pretty. That's pretty big.
Thank
I'm
you.
surprised with that. That's a deep track. I had another name that came to my mind when we were talking about who was holding up the tour.
Clear racial issue here from Chase. I didn't want to say it.
I
I
wasn't
didn't
going
want to say
to.
it.
I wasn't going to. But
Why wasn't Tiger your idol? I can think of one good reason.
actually, two,
Hey,
Connor.
Chase-
Technically,
Chase,
two.
I think Chase's idols: Tom Brady, Jimmer Fredette, Rory
Okay,
McIlroy,
get out of here.
Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
Sam
Get outta here,
Hauser,
man.
Larry
They would've-
Bird.
They would have never won all
McHale.
those games without Greg Steamsma off the bench.
Dude, I can beat the allegations right now. I can go grab my Baylor Shireman jersey right now.
Roy doesn't do it for me. But if he does it for you, I guess
It's a
that's
shame because rooting for Rory on that Sunday was one of the funnest like fan rooting experiences of my life. And golf, as you know, Dylan, because you watch a lot of it, is there's a lot of camaraderie and it's really fun to get behind one guy and kind of go through the journey with him as opposed to a team. That Sunday with all the shots, all the ups and downs, the shot on 17 to birdie, and I mean the shot on 15. I mean, it was one of the funnest experiences of my life as a fan watching, and I feel sorry for anyone who didn't get to enjoy it like I did.
We're
Yeah, I know.
just different people. Because I was rooting for a Jordan Spieth 2016 Amen corner absolute collapse from Rory McIlroy. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
and when it happened,
you choose to hate. You choose to hate. I choose to support.
I
It's
like
okay. We are different people.
Spieth. I thought it was pretty entertaining when that happened in 2016. That's good golf. That's good. That's good
Good
for
drama
the game.
for sure. Oh, the drama happened. There was playoffs. And then he stuck a dart in the playoff hole to win it.
I just wish it would have. I wish it would have ended a little bit differently, and then I would have been interested to see if he would have taken the time to speak to Amanda afterwards. That's just all I'm going to say. If he would have lost,
I mean, probably just off.
you can't. But you want to get on me for hating? He's a sore loser. He's just a lot richer than I am. That's all it is.
That can apply to a lot of things. I'm gonna start using that.
That's all it is.
Everyone
Just saying.
skipped. Every single golfer in the world skipped media after a bad round. Have you? I mean,
Not
have
Tony
you played
Finau.
golf?
No, Joel Damon.
Have you played
literally-
golf?
Dylan,
If I called you about noon tomorrow and I was like, dude, you have to spend 30 minutes with me, talk to me about your round, and you just shot a 119, what are you
He
gonna
would be
do?
thrilled.
Chase.
Dylan would be so pumped to walk up to a bunch of Golf Channel reporters.
Oh, I would yap their ear off for hours. You want to ask me questions about, hey, interesting how you hit 3 bunker shots on 1 hole. I would give him a full 10-minute recap of that.
I'm sure you would.
I would. But what were we talking about? We were talking about, I can't even remember.
Tony Finau.
I do like Tony Finau. I served him lunch at a U.S. Open qualifier. Very nice gentleman.
Tony
Wife
Finau,
is TikTok
go.
famous.
She is. Her TikToks are popping up all the time for me.
It's a lot.
Speaking of TikTok, you know what happened to me today?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I previewed this on the. I previewed this before Chase hopped on. Hold up, we got to hit some chats real quick.
Oh my
we all know
gosh.
Chase's favorite player, Luka Doncic.
Jack, you're not a
then,
real fan. You should know I can't stand Luca.
Yeah, I think Chase. I think he's pulling a fast one on you. And then I already forgot Rory won it. Shout out Kevin.
Just saying.
I'm in Washington D.C. right now, and I went to the Capitol building today.
Oh, brother.
What's the date?
Oh, brother.
It is not.
Did you get
it is
inside, or did the wall strat work? Did you climb over? Or walk in the
consensually, I
doors?
got inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, touring the Capitol building, and I guess the way it works is, I don't know, someone else in my party got all the tickets and everything. I guess you have to request tickets with your congressman, then they dish it out via your district or whatever. Anyhow, go through the whole tour and everything, and then someone in the group comes up to me and goes, "Are you that sports TikTok guy?" And I
No
go,
way.
I would go, what are you talking about? He goes, "I've seen you on TikTok. You're Karterkast, right?"
no shot.
And then he goes, "Yeah, I'm an Alabama fan," and my heart dropped. I'm going, "Oh,
You're getting killed in the
That's
Capitol
it.
building.
I was sitting there. I was like, "I'm in the cap. This is how I go out in the Capitol building. This is very poetic. An Alabama fan gets me in the Capitol building."
Did you have any connection to this guy?
Well, I guess he lives in North Carolina now too, or whatever. Shout out Mike. Mike follows the TikTok as well. Shout out, super nice. He's actually a super nice guy. Met his wife too. They're super super nice. Yeah, they were like, "Yeah, the whole tour. We thought it was you, but we had to make sure."
Is that
That's
the first
awesome.
recognition in public? I think
Second,
other
or
than
third.
BYU stuff. That's a little different because it's geographical, but
Second or third. It happened a couple more times in North Carolina.
that's awesome.
That is
Wow.
awesome.
It was very awkward. When he said Alabama, I go,
Did he bring up anything? Was he like, who's that jackass that was talking about Jalen Milroe?
no. I made a joke, and I was like, because they were like, "Yeah, the whole time we were pulling up your TikTok trying to see if it was you or not," and I was like. And I was making a joke like, "Yeah, who's that idiot on TikTok? You know, is that idiot on TikTok over there?" Like, it worked out. It was good interaction. Shout out Mike. Hope they're listening.
Shout out,
Very
Mike.
funny.
Sorry for pooping on Alabama all year. 'Cause
That's
I'd play
huge.
into that.
Dylan was in favor of Alabama making the playoffs.
I was a big Alabama guy, big Jalen Miller guy. Seahawks
Yeah.
are gonna be pretty good.
But no, not a BYU thing at all.
That's crazy.
So in Alabama won, and of course,
That's why we
happened
do
in
it.
The Capitol building. Now, the reason I was there was because of what transpired at the NBA draft lottery.
Oh, you're petitioning for some change.
Did you get to see the governor and get to make some?
No, they wouldn't let
Address
us
some
into.
things?
They wouldn't let us into the House or whatever. They wouldn't let us into the House or the Senate. They were in session. They were pretending to work. It was bullcrap. I didn't get to see anything. I got to see the rotunda and some paintings in like old Senate. And I was like, eh. Sometimes with the DC tours, it gets a little old. I'll be honest. I did ride a Segway today, and I'll share the picture once I can get it airdropped on here. Me on a Segway is an interesting sight. It's like a giraffe on skates or a elephant on a roller rink.
Now it's like Ray Lewis coming across the middle of the field. Go on.
I'll get this pulled up. Dylan, did you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, I don't. I have other golf things, but they're not very fun.
Shout out Jack. Jack ran up to me at the Delta Center during a BYU game, and I thought he was about to throw hands. I'm telling you, man, when people come up to me, I have my guard up a little bit. You know where we grew up, Connor. We grew up on the bad side of North Carolina, man. You know.
You can't have your back turned. You got to be watching your six at all times.
You gotta watch out. East Winston, you do.
East Middle School, you did.
I did go to East Middle School, so.
Yep.
Wrong corner of Carowinds.
Wrong corner of the Kernersville Spring Folly.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I want to ask Chase about. I do want to let you know I am squatchy. I am not squatchy. I would not even fake an Ohio State fan. The burner.
Oh.
That is not my burner. I do have a burner, but that's not it. But I do have a question for you from last year. We obviously
last year.
Yeah, it's from last year. You were a Dylan fan, believe it or not, at one point. But this one,
I'm always a Dylan fan.
Yeah. This one was. Do you want to address this? Because not only am I Mr. Big 12, but I'm back-to-back Mr. Big 12. And what is Dylan smoking? I'm smoking the good, apparently. Smoking that good.
I mean, I had some good take on that. 4 likes is not bad.
There's a lot of Dylan haters out there, Chase.
Let's see.
There's
you whiffed on UCF, but the others are not bad. I mean, I wouldn't call Dylan I wouldn't call Kansas State overrated, but they definitely underperformed. And obviously, Iowa State's a good pick.
Yes, I mean,
close to it. Again, wasn't. I mean, you didn't get any of these technically right. Except for
the best
Baylor
bet I
one.
got right. I got the best bet right.
You got Baylor right. I'll give you that
And
one.
I got overrated right. Kansas State was overrated. They were the favorite to win the Big 12.
Avery Johnson, poo-poo.
I'll give you half a point for that. I mean, they still they were fighting for a spot in the title game on the very last week. So.
Well, yeah, but half the conference was. That's what happens when you have a bad conference. Half the conference is in it come December, November.
Yeah, that's true. I just still don't. Yeah, I actually don't. I'm glad you brought that up because I actually feel pretty vindicated now.
I feel like I'm gonna regret this.
It wasn't that bad.
The helmet.
Was that helmet on? Was that helmet on the whole time, or just when you got on the Segway?
As someone who has a large pumpkin size headgear is just not a good deal with me. I mean, it sucks. I'm already a bigger guy, and I have to get extra large or extra large shirts. Then you have to get an XL hat. You know, it's almost more embarrassing getting an extra large hat than it is to get a bigger shirt.
Carter, let me tell you, the majority of hats I own that are like the trucker hats that you clip on, they're on the last rung. The majority of them are on the last rung that I wear.
Oh no!
I have to.
I can't.
This thing's stuck on the freaking. I usually get to go to the second and the last one.
Second to last, yeah.
Large.
When I played football in high school, finding a helmet big enough for my big ass head took like 2 weeks. I couldn't practice until they found a helmet big enough.
Special order.
Yeah, I couldn't practice until they ordered a special helmet for me. They pulled one out of the 1950s locker room. Mom filmed me going down the water slide looking at
we were at the Capitol building today. And I think there was like an 8-year-old kid with us, and Trump, obviously his second inauguration was in the Capitol building in the rotunda or whatever. You walk up the same stairs or whatever, like the president walks up before the inauguration, and this 8-year-old kid goes, "Wow, this is pretty special. We get to, as an avid Trump supporter, I get to walk up the same stairs he walked up."
My God,
follow in his footsteps.
I was like, right on, dude. Whatever.
Right on.
Whatever you think, dude. Jack said, "Mom, film me going down the water slide looking at."
That photo could be straight out of South Park.
My wife just goes, "Hey," and just clipped it.
That's great. I'm gonna need her to get a direct line to Dylan and Chase and I, like send those to us without going through you.
Thanksgiving. She hooked me up for Thanksgiving. I caught Karter not watching football.
It was it's such bullcrap.
No, it was.
I was literally watching football too.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I don't know.
have to
November
revisit that
rolls
picture.
around. Carter starts mailing it in on the NFL shows.
Yeah.
Mailing it in on the NFL shows, huh?
Carter's noted big hardwood guy. So once that hardwood comes out, it's what?
I'm a big fan of the hardwood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, big hardwood guy. And so once that comes out,
love it.
the
I mean hardwood
pigskin no more.
Turf too.
Saw 3.
Dylan, anything else? Sports?
I
or
don't
other
think
stuff you wanna
so.
bring up?
I have a
Sure.
comment here from Chase.
Holy
It was
crap.
a quote card that said the beach. I said the beach is not a top 10 activity on vacation. Chase said this is absolutely absurd, but I think you guys agreed with. You guys did not agree with me.
Top 10. It's probably top 10. Top
What
5.
other vacation things even are there?
Shopping,
Well,
golfing,
No, shopping
eating,
is not above the beach.
sleeping.
Golfing is above.
Sleeping.
Pool's above the beach.
Pool's above beach, 100%. No
Pool's
sand,
above
thank you.
beach.
Pool's above the beach.
Depends what beach though.
Depends on the beach.
You go in the ocean, you get all sticky. I'm not the biggest fan.
Going for a walk.
But if you're going to like Hawaii,
Hawaii beaches beats almost everything. But if you're going to like Myrtle Beach,
but no, California beaches suck.
yes, they're awful. And if the
Never
water's
been.
cold.
California beaches most
Is
overrated
Santa
thing on
Monica?
planet Earth.
I went to a beach in Connecticut. Guys. You haven't heard of a beach that sucks until you do that. I was walking on pebbles.
What about a lake beach? We go to Lake Erie every year.
I have a big announcement for you guys. We're
Karterkast
going on a
vacation.
Karterkast vacation, Galveston, Texas, August.
I wouldn't hate.
Is this-
I wouldn't hate Galveston.
Is SeatGeek expensing this?
Charles Barkley is.
It's a write-off.
No, imagine going to Galveston.
I am going. I'm leaving for a cruise tomorrow, and I'm making it my point.
Wait. You're playing golf?
Yeah, I'm playing golf at 7:50. We're driving to Virginia at like 3.
Where are you going?
Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico, and I'm making it my mission the least amount of beach as possible.
So just don't get off the boat.
I'm going I'm going pool. I'm going trivia. I'm going coffee
then
tour in
blackjack.
Puerto Rico.
Blackjack
Casino,
on the boat?
blackjack at the boat casino, probably blackjack in the Puerto Rico casino. I might get a finger chopped off. Who knows? International waters, even though it's technically a United States province. But they speak Spanish. I don't
exciting.
speak Spanish.
I've never been on a cruise.
See, they're fun. They're very
I
fun.
haven't
It was
either.
last minute, very cheap.
Yeah, not
Anyway, I'm not going on the beach. I bring it up just to say I'm doing as minimal beach as possible.
Chase, with the no soda stuff, were your parents the kind of parents that wouldn't let you have McDonald's as a kid? They were like, you can't. We saw Super Size Me. Morgan Spurlock scared us.
No,
Supersized me.
they're not. That was not them.
Chase's
heard-
lunch was a cheese stick and a yogurt.
I heard you may have had doctors in the family. You may have doctors in the family. Is that true?
My dad's technically a doctor. He's a dentist, so not a medical doctor, but Dr. Rogers.
So
Are dentist doctors? Because
yes,
my brother,
yes, they are.
but my brother is a dentist.
It is kind of weird to think of your brother as a doctor compared to like a parent.
But then I had another brother that. Okay. Inside Karter now. Here we go. Pause.
Hardwood.
All right, we
Big
need a
hardwood.
ruling here. What is more of a doctor? Going all the way through medical school and then quitting right before your residency, or a dentist, or graduating dental school?
A dentist.
Graduating dental school.
Yeah.
You can
that's not
perform
even close.
surgery and
Yeah.
write prescriptions. That's
You
your
can't perform
doctor. dude.
surgery right out of dental school. You got to do like all the other residencies and crap for oral surgery, don't you?
Oh, you talking about? Okay.
Just a regular practicing dentist at that point.
Yes. What I was
Dentist can
Carter. That's a
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah, dentist.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
you're saying is this other doctor you're talking about not a dentist or like a physician or something?
No, runs a dog grooming company.
No, what they go to school for? What they study to be a doctor for?
It's a long story, Dylan.
Then I'm going with the dentist. You're making this decision easier for me as we keep talking.
I just think
about
I think med school is worse than dental school.
Okay, but if you
I
finish
would say
dental
that's
school,
probably
I gotta,
fair.
yeah.
That's probably
I don't
fair,
know.
but
Yeah,
you,
I
I feel like a lot of the
wrong.
prerequisites are probably pretty similar.
I know I'm wrong here. So anyhow,
Well, the reason I asked, are you Chase? Are you Willy Wonka?
What?
If your dad's a dentist, are you Willy Wonka?
Oh, like can't eat candy?
I wasn't asking specifically that, just in general.
No.
Are you Willy Wonka?
No, I eat I eat
Any
plenty
chocolate
of candy.
factories?
No chocolate factories here.
I eat dried mangoes.
Violet Beauregard? Augustus?
Yeah.
Sugar-free lifesavers.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Brady he's never even had a strawberry. So I try to follow TB12 as close as I can.
Is that actually
Proven
part
method.
of TB12?
I don't know if it is. I just heard that he's never had a strawberry before.
TB12 sounds miserable.
Yeah, well, it gets you 7 rings. So I mean, if it does
You're a Patriots fan. You a Tom Brady guy?
yes.
So you're a big Michigan fan then, right?
No, I honestly forgot he went there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. I went to I can't stand Michigan. I hate them with with passion. Because I went to 2015. BYU played Michigan. I made a trip out. Big moment for me, teenage Chase, and it was the most miserable experience of my life. They were insanely rude. Obviously, BYU got smoked, and I was getting heckled as a 15-year-old kid, getting called names, spit on, throwing stuff, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, Michigan fans, bunch of scumbags, and hope to never win another game as long as I live.
Well, I have bad news for you. We're
It's a true
going to
story.
win more games, probably a lot of them.
We're gonna
Message
win.
15-year-old Chase, get a backbone,
Yeah.
get over it. Here's what I will say. The difference between
Oh, I was
us-
spitting it back. Don't get me wrong. Like,
The difference between you and I
You
is
fetchers.
that's a game you remember that's etched in your mind forever. That's an exhibition. That's an exhibition in my mind. I don't even
no, it
remember
wasn't
that.
a game. It was the experience. I mean, it was an ugly stadium. Big House is the most overrated stadium in college football.
If I
thought
were to
the
lose when I went there, I would probably
the
say
weather
the same
sucked. It was the people.
weather's
it was
bad.
it was the way I was treated, and it was legitimately like the worst sporting event and experience of my life.
coming from a
Everyone-
Boston fan, by the way.
massive
thing.
jerks.
Yeah. Well,
Chase, I can't be with you on this one, Chase. As a Boston fan, I can't support that.
Chase,
What's that supposed to mean?
I
hope
talking about rowdy fan bases.
I hope and pray you make the trek to the shoe here shortly, and I hope that they treat you with the utmost grace and kiss the ground you walk on, because I'm sure they're going to be very nice to you.
I mean, I'm
Shoe.
not a big Ohio State guy either. I know everyone's mean, but for me, there was not a single nice Michigan fan I met, and it was legitimately like the worst experience. They weren't even good either.
Winners. Back-to-back national championships.
When?
What about Wake Forest fans?
Last year and the year
They're
before.
brutal.
Last year.
What, different sports? You thinking
No.
hockey?
No, football. We beat the national champions.
Carolina just secured the women's lacrosse championship. If anybody cares.
You guys have a stud coach.
Dude, Bill Belichick's making a huge difference early on. Dang, that's crazy.
I know.
Oh, that's where Hubert's NIL money went.
Had to go somewhere useful.
Women's lacrosse.
Where
Take Kate
Okay.
Tyson's contract, pay for the whole team.
All right, let's come up with that question. Would you rather have a women's lacrosse title or a point guard?
I'm gonna decline my press availability for that one.
All right, Dylan. What else? Do you have anything else?
No,
Any
that's
news
all I got.
topics? Anything?
No more tweets of mine, Dylan. No more
Oh.
comments. You wanna?
The tide started to turn last year. You were very nice, and then all of a sudden it's Dylan's a Michigan fan. Dylan's a generational Ohio State hater. You honestly have to respect it. He's got that I don't know what that means.
Dylan, when did you start watching football? Like a year ago?
Outside of Michigan, 2019. I watched
Claiming
Michigan all my
BS.
life. Oh, yes. Kevin. Listen, you want to be a champion, you got to beat the champion. Sorry. Haven't beat us. It's cute. It's a cute national championship.
Transitive property.
but, yeah. First two lost national champion, right?
Who's swinging first?
Rory.
We went back and forth. You sent me a screenshot of Oregon beating Idaho by 10, which I can't even remember.
Bruce kind of be right. Oregon kind of frauds.
Not really. Not every team can go undefeated. I mean,
I was right about that one.
Yeah, they
No,
didn't go undefeated. They kind of got the doors blown off
They got
against the team.
smoked
After they
by
beat- I mean,
the
they-
national champions.
50-50. That game's a pick. No more than a 3-point favorite either way.
Yeah, Jeff Benson
it's like-
probably has them as -2.
Yeah, I mean, whatever the betting odds are is what really matters.
Well, they
I
seem to
love
do
me
a
some
pretty good
Jeff
job.
Benson.
Seem to do a pretty good job, Chase. I said something about 0 Big 12 teams in the playoff. It's a charity case. And you said I want 2 Big 10 teams in the playoff. It's a charity case. Was that saying you wanted I'm assuming you wanted less than what was supposed to get in there?
This was a while ago. I think I was being facetious in that
But
moment.
were you
I mean,
implying?
Indiana made it. They got. I mean, it wasn't even. I wasn't watching football.
Were you
Watching
implying
Kurt
that you
Signetti.
wanted less than the however many that got in?
I believe I was saying that the Big Ten was a bit overrated.
Yeah,
in those playoffs.
BYU neutral field favorite against Indiana last year.
Okay, Josh Pate. I don't give a crap about the betting odds of hypothetical games. Who was
win?
favored? Ohio
Okay,
State,
Chase,
Michigan.
Who would win?
Ohio State, Michigan in the playoff. Who's favored?
Ohio State.
Okay, so they're clearly much better.
Okay, Chase. Brother, we're gonna have a fight. That's how else are we supposed to
don't-
measure how good a team is?
They just tried to use that on me.
Illinois beat Penn State 2 years ago in 12 overtimes. Is Illinois a better team than Penn State? No.
The dog meter is how you do it.
Dog meter. If I ever got jump, just call. I will. I know how to use that search function.
Any
Dylan,
other good
can I get
bangers
you-
for me, Dylan? Like, what was your favorite of mine?
I don't have.
Have any good ones?
You tweeted at me that I'm in shambles right now. I'm assuming that was after the Oregon game.
Yeah, because we
Oregon,
had that
Ohio
conversation. We had that conversation when I was totally right, and then it happened, and then I was tweeting at you.
And then, of course, I responded completely vindicated. I'm claiming the whole championship. Day should send more a ring.
Yeah,
A screenshot of
remember that.
me. And then now we're getting to this year with basketball stuff,
Dylan.
which is
Dylan, before we get out of here,
yeah.
do you have a team you're looking at that you're going they're overrated? You can't talk about Ohio State. No Ohio State, banned from this. Is there a team you're looking at this year going everyone's kind of high on, and you're going no, I don't see it.
Texas.
I knew it. I knew you hated Arch Manning.
Now,
Opening up old wounds.
can I
He's not over that
reserve?
game.
I want to reserve the right to rescind that because I haven't dug into the rosters or anything. But I'm seeing a lot of Texas hype on my timeline, and that makes me believe that it's not real.
I'm
Or that
seeing
the
a lot of
hype is real,
Clemson
but
hype
there's
on my
no
I
phone.
was gonna say Clemson. I was gonna say
I was
Clemson.
gonna say, I'm seeing a lot of Clemson hype. I'm like, okay, Cade Klubnik did have a really good playoff game. I will say that.
He did.
But I also saw the other 13 games he played that season.
Unfortunately.
So you just admitted Ohio State is better than Michigan because of the betting odds.
Yeah. I'm confused. Michigan's not a better team than Ohio State. You guys just can't beat us, which makes it 10 times worse. Like it's every time you see that block, it's the same that you couldn't beat Missouri 2 years ago in your bowl game. You see that block M, and Ryan Day poops his pants.
You can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah. I mean, Ohio State. Yeah, last year they were better than Michigan. They still can't beat us. Ann Arbor South. I pass it almost every time I go to the mall.
How close are
Wexner
you to
money.
Columbus?
There's a whole lot of stuff. Hey, that hammer's coming, boys.
Overrated team.
Oh man, that was fun.
Yeah,
That was fun.
I love it. Oh, Kevin in the chat said overrated team is BYU.
Ooh. Are they
Very true.
They gonna have a quarterback?
people?
I don't know.
Shockingly enough,
Not looking good.
Problem is
Illinois.
their schedule's way too easy.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Big 12 is Dylan, I don't need you to automatically ride with this. You have to do your research and everything. I want you to do this with me if the research backs it up as well. I want you to take the worst 2 Big 12 teams on the odds to win the Big 12 because the Big
Okay.
12 has so much variance and there's No rhyme or reason to it. I don't think there's that big of a difference at the top to the bottom. We always see one random team at the bottom do way better than they should. I think you can get some teams like plus 10,000.
I'm in.
I think Arizona's plus 10,000 right now to win the Big 12. If you believe in
West Virginia, I think they're
Fafita.
down there too.
Yeah.
West Virginia's kind of more what I'm looking at.
I'm in. Yeah. You utter the V word. I'm in.
You look at the Big 12 schedules and you go, oh, that's a joke how easy that is. And then you look at another Big 12 schedule and you go, oh, it's so easy. Eventually, I think all the Big 12 teams just aren't that good.
It's possible.
Utah might be good.
Who's this
Overrated
Kevin
team
guy?
for you? I'll give you Arizona State. Why does everyone think
hate
Sam
that.
Leavitt's the next great quarterback?
Do not hate that. Without Scadaboo covered up so many holes on that offense. Dylan, we riding Cowboys money line against the Panthers this year, yeah?
I'm not scared of being in on the Cowboys, Jack. Better than the alternatives in that division.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the alternatives in that question.
Oh no, Panthers
Better
have
hope-
what the Panthers have.
Better hope Bryce Young doesn't outplay Dak in that series or in that game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I think I'll sleep easy at night before that. Who's this Kevin? Do we know this Kevin guy?
I don't know. I don't know Kevin, but
Kevin
shout out
Phillips.
Kevin.
How about the 9 in a row OSU won?
Shout out Kevin in the chat.
What
We love
about?
an
Yeah,
active
shout out
chatter.
Kevin. I don't know what about it. What do you want it? What's the point of the question? They won him. That's great.
It's about to be bedtime for me.
We got to wrap up. It's 12. It's 12:20.
Dylan, you got tea time. We gotta get out of here.
I can chop it up with the boys all night. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's nothing
Doesn't matter,
a little Lecrae and a Diet Coke can't fix in the morning.
So I'm gonna be blaring some 21 Pilots.
Do you bring a speaker on the golf course?
I don't have one. I don't have like a portable speaker. I just use my phone.
Are you playing solo?
No, the boys.
Okay.
The boys.
Okay,
We got
just making
boys
sure.
from all areas of Ohio. All area codes. 513-937. Yeah. So.
Ah, the
Underbite.
Maine boys.
Right, Dylan? People in Ohio underbite. Didn't you say that on one of the shows? I'm pretty sure one of the
Like Ohio
TikToks.
State
Yes, he
fans?
did. Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
you did.
Ohio State fans?
Yes, he did.
Two of them are Ohio State fans. One's a USC fan. He just said he's going to be a USC fan. So.
Nico.
Yeah.
Shout out Nico.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
Nico.
Let's
Nah,
get
it's
out of
Dylan.
here. We'll have to do this again soon.
Yeah, it's
we
fun.
got NBA stuff to talk about upcoming. I'm going to do some NBA draft stuff here very, very soon as well. Make sure to follow all of us on social media at Chase_Roger0, at Wilkerson A. Dillon, at Connor_Sparrow, at Karter VA, at Karterkast on everything. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll be back very, very soon. We'll have a finals preview once that series finishes and everything, and we'll be back. Make sure to subscribe on the YouTube. Download SeatGeek. Use code Kartercast, $20 off your first purchase, and we'll see you all next time.